Greetings, fellow YouTubers. Lindsay here. How the heck are you? Welcome to another video in the ErvTV Cincinnati Origins History Series. There was a man by the name of John Filson who was a very important history figure in Kentucky history that would be one of the original 3 members of the Cincinnati expedition to establish and design what would become what we now know as downtown Cincinnati. But wait, you tell yourself, that's not right. I know the names of the 3 men who are the founding fathers of Cincinnati, and John Filson wasn't one of them. In this video, we're going to tell you that story. So stick around. I think you'll like this video. Our story starts with this man by the name of John Filson. This illustration right here is actually wasn't done while he was alive. It was done many years later. We don't really know what he looks like. This, from what I read, is based on a sketch that was found of him. Yeah. So, John Filson was an American author. And this Wikipedia article is pretty accurate from all the stuff I've read about him. He was an early historian of Kentucky. And honestly, he is the one that literally made the map of early Kentucky. Now this is his map here, and you can see this here is about as detailed as our part of Ohio gets. There's lots of different maps, but you can see Old Chillicothe up this way. But this is not drawn to scale by any stretch of the imagination, which was one of the problems with it. This wasn't based on a survey. This was based on John Filson's observations, places he had traveled to, and also his friendship with one individual by the name of Daniel Boone. And the adventures of Daniel Boone were actually written by John Filson. Now, John Filson, this very first paragraph right here really paints a picture. It uses words like, being the habitation of savages. Wretched wigwams, miserable abodes of savages. That's how he's describing the native inhabitants. And this is probably the popular opinion of the era. But his belief was stated at the end, we behold the foundations of cities laid that, in all probability, will rival the glory of the greatest upon earth. He had a vision of what this would be. What is interesting about John Filson, let's go back to his Wikipedia article. He was from Chester County, Pennsylvania, but guys, this little early life blurb about John Filson, I don't know how much we actually know. A lot of it is conjecture, because they didn't have records the way we do now. But he was from Pennsylvania. He was born about 1750. It depends on what source you look at as to when he was born. And he served in, let's go to another article. I have a few articles here. So he served in a Revolutionary War in his late 20s. He was captured and later released. But what he's most known for is the map of Kentucky that he made, and in the back of it were the adventures of Daniel Boone. And the adventures of Daniel Boone in the appendix was actually bigger than the information on Kentucky itself. And he's the one that made Daniel Boone the public figure he would later become. So there's a lot of it. Here's a Cincinnati.com article that he basically accompanied Sims to survey a bunch of the territory And he was one of the 3 original partners in the Cincinnati expedition that went to start up this settlement along the Ohio River. He's the one that completed the initial survey. And he's the one that originally named it Losantaville, which is one of the worst names, and I'm glad somebody later changed that. But he entered this partnership with Denman and Patterson in August of 1788. Denman actually had purchased a bunch of land from John Cleves Sims. And if we go back to and look at the Sims purchase, it's this big chunk of land right here. I'm sorry, this blue chunk of land right here. Basically where Cincinnati is kind of cutting all the way up this blue area. So why haven't you heard of John Filson? Well, long story short, guys, John Filson disappeared. And he was on a survey expedition in October of 1788, which I believe was before the first party showed up, right? Am I right about that? I believe that was just before the first party showed up, and he was out with Sims, and supposedly they were attacked by Native Americans, and his body was never found. One of the stories I read said that he got separated from the party, and I don't remember why. I don't know if we know why. And again, I don't know if we even know what we think we know about it. But he mysteriously disappeared. And kind of what's really sad about this is this guy didn't have a family. He was never married. He had no descendants, no kids. So after he disappeared, the remaining partners had a lot to gain from his disappearance. His interest in Cincinnati was transferred to Israel Ludlow, but see, that's a whole nother story, because Israel Ludlow's heirs never reaped any benefit from any of it, because although Israel Ludlow is considered one of the founding fathers of Cincinnati, I don't think he bought into it, because John Filson is the one that bought into it, and it was Filson's money. There is a historical society named after him. His writings and his early map of Kentucky really were very important in the settlement of this area, and this is what we're looking at as people are landing in Cincinnati to settle it. This is the general state of things. There's lots of Native Americans that were here, and they had been moved out of the area, but not really. The whole thing is complicated and difficult to understand, but we'll explore that in future videos. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, up here should be popping up a link for you to explore. It should be a playlist of other videos similar to this one. Click it, watch some of those videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Keep fighting a good fight, and I will see you in the next video.